I'm from California, but have been out in Colorado for over 6 years now. I have a big background in sports. I grew up playing all sorts of sports. I played lacrosse in college, and then after college, I coach lacrosse now. And then, so I grew up playing soccer competitively, and that was always my sport. Um, Throughout middle school, I just had kind of like a rough experience, like one of those situations where I was the same position as the coach's daughter, and so barely getting playing time. I felt like I was working really hard at it. I tried switching teams, it didn't work out well. And so I was just getting really frustrated with it and wanted to find something else. My little brother had actually played lacrosse for a few years and he was loving it. So I decided to go it with a few of my friends and I like fell in love with it super quickly. Honestly, it kind of just like fell into me during college. My college coach also ran a club throughout the rest of the year, and so I was just like helping her out with stuff. When I moved out to Colorado, I think I was just kind of missing it a little bit, and so decided to help out with the club. Like, didn't take it very seriously, just wanted to be around the sport, and it kind of just over the years has naturally turned into something where more doors have opened, and I've said yes to opportunities, and I've kind of wound up here. I don't think I ever thought, even when I was playing lacrosse in college or anything, that like this was what I'd be doing, but it's where I'm at now and I love it. I feel like one lesson I'm still kind of learning right now is how to take that responsibility, but also not let it get the best of me sometimes too, and also understand when is things that are out of my control and when I am doing my best as a coach to help the team. And like, I mean, at the end of the day, it is up to the team and the players as well. And so being able to let myself take a step back and not put so much pressure on myself. The biggest thing was that I needed it so bad. I was someone in college, I struggled a lot with my mental health, but I also really let my mind affect how I played. Like, I was your typical head case of an athlete. Like, if I missed a shot, I was slamming my stick on the ground and stomping back to the other side of the field and like just being like terrible about it. Or I'd play a bad game and I wouldn't be able to sleep for a week straight. Like, I was just such a head case. And towards the end of my career, I kind of realized that this was a field that existed, and I was already studying psychology and exercise science, so it lined up really well. And I was like, oh my God, I would have killed to have something like this in college and have this support. And I feel like I would have been a whole different athlete if I had had this. And so just realizing through my own experience that this is something that athletes desperately need and isn't as accessible as it should be. Or, I mean, your mind controls everything. So, I mean, like, one big thing is you're not going to play well at all if your mind isn't where it should be. And then the flip side of it is when your head's not where it should be and things go wrong, that's when shit really hits the fan too. Like when an athlete makes a mistake and they let it get the best of them versus learning how to be resilient through that and keep playing through it and make them better. I think that flip side of it is the really most important side of things that I see is just if you're not in a good space and things start to go wrong, which in every sport, something goes wrong along the way. It's not going to be perfect. It can tend to get the best of athletes. And so being able to have a good mental strategy and be confident in their abilities and confident in their ability to bounce back from those mistakes is 100% of both. But when it comes to competition, the mental aspect impacts the physical aspect so insanely much. So if your mental capacity is only at 50%, then your physical capacity is only going to be at 50% or whatever it may be. And so I feel like it's, I don't want to say 50-50 because I don't think it's 50-50. I think it's 100% of both, but they both play a huge role in each other. This is one that my dad always says, and I feel like I never hear it, but being able to experience someone else's passions and like take on their passions for a day or however long. Yeah, I don't know. He always says that, and I at first I was like, "What are you talking about?" But the more I've thought about that, it's like I feel like there's so many people out there who care so much about things that I couldn't care less about, and to be able to just like experience that and feel that would be really cool, and I feel like would open your mind to so many things. I feel like everything like throughout my career in sports, like everything just felt so heavy and important and obviously it is like it all plays a big role in the big picture, but I think just trying to learn throughout my career that like it's really not that deep and like even if you have the worst career of your life, it's or worst year of your life playing, it's not like it's gonna be fine. I think it's just always been an exciting thing. Like we had season tickets growing up, and so like it was just always the exciting thing that our family would go do. And even now, like I love to plan my trips going home around being able to go to the games. I think it was was it last season? Two seasons ago, they broke their playoff streak or lack of playoff streak and finally made it to the playoffs. And I went to the first game of that, which was just like so exciting. And it's cool to be in those environments. Like nothing gets that like pumped and excited in our society at all about anything, but like being in that environment where everyone's just like stoked. It's so cool and fun. I do feel like sports are a style. I always have some jewelry on because it makes me look less like I'm actually going to play a sport and more like this is just how I dress and what my style is. And I just have my jewelry items that I live in and have meaning to me as well. But I feel like I've been noticing a lot lately is with like the Olympics on and track and how much they have like I feel like it's so cool to see how much they express like their style and like wear all the jewelry and have their hair a certain way and like have the crazy nails and stuff, which I think is really cool that a sport like that can like show their own style. Probably my dad. He's growing up, he was doing Ironman, doing 100-mile ultra marathons, like doing all of this crazy stuff. And I feel like it was really cool to see how much he cared about what he was doing and competed and worked hard for things, and made it a part of his lifestyle. How important it is to work for things that you care about and commit to things that you're passionate about, and also use your passions to help people and be a supportive person and things like that. Like I think he just really is emulated. Like this is how you live a cool life. And also impact the people around you as well. Like he's so big on helping people and things like that. And so I think that's been really powerful for me. I think I want to be remembered as someone who similarly just like cares a lot about people and has been a really big impact in people's lives, whether it be the athletes I coach, athletes that I work with, and also someone who again just like lived a good life and knew how to do the things that she loved and do them to the fullest potential that she could, and just commit to everything that I cared about.